How many times have you stayed in a relationship, a friendship, where deep down you knew it wasn't good for you? How many times have you held on to someone even when your soul was screaming to let go? Listen here, too many of us are afraid to walk away from someone, afraid of how it might look, afraid of the guilt that comes with turning our back. But let me tell you this, sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to walk away silently. No noise, no arguments, just peace. Because when you protect your peace, when you choose growth over comfort, that's when you truly begin to rise. Life is about growth, about moving forward, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. But here's the truth, not everyone is going to come along for the ride. You might want them to, you might even try to drag them with you. But sometimes, you need to realize that some people are not meant to stay in your life forever. And when you see that, when you understand that some people are holding you back, it's time to step away. Let me make this clear, cutting someone off silently doesn't mean being cold, cruel, or full of resentment. It doesn't mean you're harboring bitterness or holding a grudge. No, it means you are making a conscious decision to remove negative energy from your life without engaging in pointless confrontations or conflicts. It's about understanding that your peace of mind, your growth, and your mental health are more important than any relationship that no longer serves your happiness. I know what you're thinking. Denzel, it's hard to cut someone off, especially when they've been in your life for years, when they're family, friends, people you care about. And you're right, it's not easy. But let me tell you this, not everyone is meant to go with you where you need to go. Not everyone is aligned with your purpose. And if you're carrying people who weigh you down, how do you expect to fly? How do you expect to soar? We all have people in our lives who drain us. Maybe it's that friend who only calls when they need something. Maybe it's that family member who always criticizes but never supports. Or maybe it's someone you've been close to for years, but every time you're around them, you feel anxious, depleted, or simply unhappy. These people may not be bad people, they might not even realize the impact they're having on you. But if someone constantly brings negativity into your life, if they always hold you back, you need to make a decision. This decision isn't about them, it's not about pointing fingers or blaming. This is about you. It's about protecting your energy. It's about recognizing that you are responsible for your own happiness and mental well-being. We often feel guilty about wanting to walk away from someone, especially when they've been a long-standing part of our life. But longevity doesn't always equal loyalty. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they are adding value to it. Ask yourself, what am I sacrificing to keep this person in my life? Are you sacrificing your peace, your happiness, your mental clarity, or your growth? Those things are too precious to give up just to keep someone around. And remember this, cutting someone off silently doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean you are harboring anger or resentment. It simply means you are choosing to prioritize yourself. You are choosing to step into a space where you can grow, where you can live fully, with strength and conviction. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to choose peace and growth. Understand that you have the right to walk away for your own good. Choose to live the life that God has planned for you, unbound by anyone holding you down. Soar high and don't look back. Take a deep breath. Feel the freedom that comes when you're no longer weighed down by negative energy or toxic relationships. When you decide to leave someone behind silently, you don't owe them an explanation. You don't need to justify why you're doing it. Too often, we think we need to explain, that we need to have a conversation to bring closure. But the truth is, closure doesn't always come from a conversation. Sometimes, Closure comes from within, from deciding that you've had enough, that you deserve better, and that you're ready to move forward without carrying that burden. Don't think that walking away silently is easy. To do so, you need strength, courage, and self-awareness. Because the moment you start choosing yourself, when you begin removing those who don't support your growth, there will be discomfort. You might feel lonely, you might question whether you're doing the right thing. You might even doubt yourself, wondering if you're being selfish. But remember this, self-care is not selfish. Prioritizing your peace and mental health is necessary. Listen, you have dreams, you have goals, you have places you want to go and things you want to achieve. But you can't get there if you're constantly being dragged down by negative energy. You can't rise if you're always surrounded by people who don't support your vision and growth. So yes, walking away is hard, but what's harder is staying stuck where you are because you're too afraid to move forward without them. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. You don't need to engage in confrontations or heated discussions. You don't need to make a scene or burn bridges. Silence is powerful. Silence is graceful. When you choose to leave someone behind silently, you're telling yourself and the world that your peace matters more than their presence in your life. You're sending a message to the universe that you're ready to create space for new energy, new opportunities, new relationships that align with who you are and where you're headed. And here's what you need to understand: not everyone will understand your decision. Some people might feel confused, hurt, or even angry. But their reaction is not your responsibility. You cannot control how others feel or respond to your choices. But you can control how you choose to live, how you protect your energy, and how you create an environment that supports your growth. Too often, we hold on to relationships out of obligation. We think that just because someone is family or because we've been friends for years, we owe them our time, energy, and presence. But loyalty doesn't mean staying when it's harmful to your spirit. Loyalty means staying true to yourself, your values, and your peace. And sometimes, staying true to yourself means walking away in silence, not out of fear, but out of respect for yourself. Cutting someone off silently doesn't mean you stop caring about them. It doesn't mean you wish them failure or ill will. On the contrary, you can still care deeply for them while recognizing that their presence in your life no longer supports your growth. You can love them from a distance, you can wish them well from afar, but that doesn't mean they need to be in your inner circle. Understand that your inner circle is sacred. It should be filled with people who uplift you, who support your dreams, who encourage your growth. That circle should reflect the person you are striving to become. If someone isn't adding value to that space, if they're not contributing positively to your journey, then it's time to reassess their role in your life. And to be clear, cutting someone off silently doesn't mean you'll never speak to them again or sever all ties forever. It simply means creating distance, setting boundaries, and choosing to protect your energy. Over time, people change, relationships evolve, and sometimes those you once connected deeply with may no longer align with where you're headed. Walk forward with confidence and pride. You are choosing to live with courage, and that's something not everyone can do. Remember, life is a journey, and not everyone is meant to walk with you until the end. Sometimes, the most important thing is recognizing when it's time to let go. Walking away silently is a powerful act. It allows you to maintain your dignity and protect your peace. You don't have to dive into unnecessary arguments or get caught up in emotional turmoil. Instead, you choose to step back, retreat to your own space, and focus on what truly matters: your growth, your goals, your peace. Letting go has never been easy, but sometimes holding on is even harder. When you decide to cut ties silently, you are choosing to release what no longer serves your life. You are creating space for new and better things, people who will support you, opportunities that will push you forward. Remember, not everyone is meant to accompany you throughout your entire journey. Some people only come into your life for a certain phase to teach you a lesson, to help you move forward. And when that phase ends, walking away is natural. Cutting ties does not mean being cold or cruel. It is an intentional act, a way of acknowledging that your time, energy, and peace are far too precious to waste on relationships that no longer fit. If someone is draining you, if someone is holding you back, if someone is preventing you from becoming the person you were born to be, cut them off silently. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your peace. You don't need to justify why you're choosing growth over stagnation. When you choose to cut out toxic relationships, you are making a powerful decision to live a life that aligns with your highest self. And it's at that moment you'll realize that the people who truly belong in your life, the ones who support you, who want to see you grow, will naturally gravitate toward you. When you live in peace with yourself, you attract peace. When you choose growth, you attract those who want to grow with you. Cut them off silently, not out of resentment, but out of love. Love for yourself, love for your journey, and love for the life you are building. Watch how your world starts to change. Watch how, when you clear out the negativity, you make room for positivity, growth, and peace waiting for you. You deserve that. You owe it to yourself to protect your peace. Protecting your peace is one of the most powerful acts of self-love you can perform. It means setting boundaries, safeguarding your energy, and living a life full of joy and meaning. It means choosing yourself, unapologetically and without hesitation. Remember this: no one has the right to take away your joy, energy, or purpose. Yes, I get it, cutting someone off sounds extreme, especially if you value loyalty and cherish relationships. But sometimes, silence is the most respectful way to walk away. Sometimes, the most powerful move you can make is to quietly step away, without explanations, without drama, without any grand announcements. Just walk away. Why silently? Because sometimes, silence speaks louder than any words. Walking away without making a scene shows maturity, self-awareness. You're telling the world, I value my energy too much to get caught up in endless back and forths. I am worthy enough not to have to explain why I'm stepping back. I'm doing this because I know what's best for me. When you cut someone off silently, you're sending a clear message: my time, my peace, and my growth are too precious to waste. You're telling the universe, I am ready to elevate and I won't let anyone hold me back. But understand this: cutting someone off doesn't mean you don't care about them or no longer love them. Sometimes, you have to put yourself first. You have to protect your space. If someone brings more harm than peace, if their presence causes you more pain than happiness, it's time to let go. No noise, no anger. Just quietly, gracefully, and with love. And the interesting thing is, sometimes the people you need to cut off aren't toxic in the traditional sense. They might not be doing anything overtly wrong, they might even think they're helping you. But maybe they don't truly understand you, don't have the energy that aligns with yours, or don't support your dreams. Maybe they're too comfortable with you staying stagnant to make them feel secure. But let me tell you this: staying stagnant just to make someone else comfortable is not an option. That's not how you grow. Growth requires change, and change often means leaving some people behind.
It's perfectly natural to move on. You don't need to make a big show of it,
nor do you need to justify why you're choosing to move forward without them. You simply need to gently shift your focus, elevate your energy, and continue on your path. The reality is that not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will support the changes you're making. Some people will feel comfortable with the old version of you, the version they could control, the version that fit neatly into their perception of who you should be. But as you grow and evolve, you'll realize that you need to be surrounded by people who support the new version of you, not the old. And that's why protecting your peace is so crucial. It's not about cutting people off in a harsh or indifferent way, it's about choosing yourself, choosing the right path for you. Remember, cutting people off isn't just something you do for the sake of it. It's about ensuring that your energy aligns with the people you surround yourself with. It's about ensuring that the relationships in your life serve your growth, help you thrive, and bring positivity into your space. Anything less than that needs to go. Make no mistake, this process is not easy. It takes strength to walk away from people who have been a part of your life for a long time. There will be moments when you feel lonely, and you may question whether you made the right decision. You might even feel guilty for choosing yourself. But let me tell you this, choosing yourself is never wrong. Prioritizing your peace is never a mistake. It's an act of self-love, and ultimately, it's what will lead you to a more fulfilling, authentic life. Think of it this way, your energy, your peace, your mental health are like a garden. If you don't tend to that garden, if you allow weeds to take over, it will never thrive. Weeds might not be immediately harmful, but over time, they will choke out the good and prevent your garden from growing and blooming as it should. So, when you silently cut someone off, when you create distance between you and those who don't contribute to your growth, you're pulling out the weeds. You're making room for the flowers to flourish. This doesn't mean you have to shut everyone out of your life. It doesn't mean you need to cut off every single person who disagrees with you or doesn't fully understand the path you're on. But it does mean you need to be discerning about who gets access to your inner circle. You need to be intentional about the energy you allow into your space because not everyone deserves access to you, and not everyone is worthy of a front row seat in your life. When you start protecting your peace, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel lighter, more focused, and more aligned with your energy and your goals. And the people who deserve to be in your life, the ones who truly support your growth, will stay. They'll understand and respect the boundaries you've set. They won't feel hurt when you need time for yourself, because they are the ones who genuinely want to see you succeed. They will cheer for you, even if it means they are no longer as close as they once were. Let's be clear, protecting your peace doesn't mean isolating yourself. It doesn't mean cutting everyone off and retreating into a shell. It means you're creating space for the right people, the right energy, and the right opportunities to come into your life. It means you're prioritizing the things that bring you joy, make you feel complete, and push you toward being the best version of yourself. The more you protect your peace, the more you'll realize just how much of your energy was being drained by unnecessary stress, by people who didn't have your best interests at heart, by situations that weren't serving your growth. Hear this, when you decide to cut off the things that no longer fit in your life, when you do it silently without drama or engaging in negative energy, you'll find your mind becoming clearer and more focused. You'll regain the energy to pursue your passions, to live in alignment with your purpose, and to truly live the life you were meant to live. But let me be honest with you, not everyone will like this. There will be people who won't appreciate you setting boundaries, choosing to prioritize your peace over their needs or expectations. They might call you selfish, they might say you've changed. And you know what you have changed. You've grown, you've evolved, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Change is inevitable, and growth is a choice. Every day, you have the choice to either stay stuck in the same old patterns, surrounded by the same people, or step into a new chapter of your life, one with more peace, more clarity, and more purpose. But you can't do that if you constantly allow yourself to be dragged down by the negative energy of others, by drama, by toxic energy that drains you. That's why cutting people off silently is so powerful. It's not about being petty or spiteful, it's about choosing yourself. It's about recognizing that you have the power to control who and what you allow into your life. And when you do that, when you decide to protect your peace, you're sending a message to the universe that you're ready for more. You're ready for the abundance, the joy, the success that's waiting for you. So, if you find yourself constantly feeling drained, stressed, or not enough, it's time to make a change. It's time to cut off the people, the situations, and the habits that no longer serve you. Do it silently, do it gracefully, and watch how your life begins to transform. Because here's the truth, you can't pour into others if your cup is empty. You can't give, you can't pursue your dreams, and you can't live in alignment with your purpose if you're constantly drained. You need to fill yourself up first. You have to protect your peace. You must create boundaries that allow you to thrive and become the person you are meant to be. And when you do that, when you choose to prioritize your peace, you'll notice everything else falling into place. You'll attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right energy into your life. You'll feel more aligned with your purpose and more focused on your vision. You'll be living from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Protecting your peace isn't just an act of self-care, it's an act of self-love. It's a declaration that you are worthy of joy, happiness, and fulfillment. It's a reminder that you have the right to create the life you want, the life you deserve. Growth requires sacrifice, it requires hard decisions, and yes, it requires cutting off those who don't believe in where you're going. You can't worry about hurting someone else's feelings when your future is at stake. You can't hold yourself back just because someone else isn't ready to see you rise. So, cut them off silently and keep moving forward. Listen, the hardest part about cutting someone off is the guilt. That guilt will creep in and convince you that you're doing something wrong, that you're abandoning people, that you're being selfish, and that you owe them an explanation. But let me tell you this, you owe it to yourself to be happy. You owe it to yourself to grow. You owe it to yourself to be surrounded by people who lift you up, not pull you down. Prioritizing your peace is never selfish, it's something you have to do for yourself, and it's absolutely right. Hear this, sometimes, cutting someone off silently is the wake-up call they need. Sometimes, your absence will make them realize the impact they had on your life. They will start to reflect, start to question why you distanced yourself, and maybe, just maybe, they'll begin their own journey of growth. But remember, that's not your concern. What you need to focus on is ensuring that you're surrounded by the right people, the ones who push you forward, challenge you, and support your vision. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should walk away from everyone who disagrees with you or anyone who makes mistakes. No, we're all human, and we all stumble. But there's a clear difference between someone who genuinely cares for you yet occasionally falters and someone who constantly drains your energy, disrespects your boundaries, or undermines your growth. It's your responsibility to recognize that difference. You have to be the one to make that decision. Let me tell you this, when you start cutting off relationships that no longer serve you, when you begin to protect your peace, everything changes. You'll find yourself surrounded by people who understand and respect the journey you're on. You'll notice a shift in your energy, feeling lighter, more focused, and more aligned with your purpose. Because when you clear out the obstacles, when you remove those who don't resonate with your vision, you make space for the right people to enter. You see, cutting people off isn't just about removing someone from your life. It's about creating space for the right people to step in. It's about cultivating an environment that supports your growth and fuels your passion. And when you do that, when you surround yourself with those who uplift you, challenge you to be better, and believe in you, your life begins to elevate. Everything in your life starts to flourish. But it all starts with that first step, having the courage to say, "This no longer serves me," and finally stepping away. No drama, no explanations, just silence. And in that silence, you'll find strength and peace. Don't think it will be easy. In fact, it might be one of the hardest things you do. But remember this, you're not responsible for anyone else's growth, only your own. And if someone is holding you back, if they're not aligned with where you're headed, you have every right, no, you have an obligation, to remove them from your life. When you start to realize that your energy is finite, you'll understand why protecting it is essential. The more energy you spend on people who drain you, the less you have for your true purpose, your passions, and becoming the best version of yourself. Remember this, your dreams, your growth, your peace of mind, your life's purpose, and your goals, they all deserve your full attention. Those who truly care about you, who understand where you're going, won't mind if you need to take a step back or focus on yourself for a while. But those who take issue with it, who feel threatened by your growth, those are the ones who were never really for you in the first place. Here's the hardest pill to swallow. Sometimes, the people you thought would be in your corner forever, the ones you thought would cheer you on, are the very ones who secretly hope you stay the same. They fear your growth because it forces them to confront their own stagnation. But that's not your burden to bear. You're not responsible for someone else's inability to grow. You're not obligated to dim your light just so someone else feels comfortable in your presence. Your responsibility is to shine as brightly as you can, fulfill your potential, and become everything you are meant to be. So yes, you cut them off, quietly and resolutely. You step back and let them figure out their path. No anger, no bitterness, just an understanding that your paths no longer align. And you know what, sometimes, that silent departure is the catalyst they need to start their own journey of growth. But even if it's not, that's okay. Your journey is not tied to theirs. The guilt may still linger. You might wonder if you could have done more, said more, or tried harder. But remember this, your first responsibility is to yourself. You can't give to others when your cup is empty. You can't show up fully for others if you are constantly being drained, constantly sacrificing your peace for someone else's comfort. At some point, you have to choose yourself. And when you do, you'll see that everything starts to fall into place. When you cut people off quietly, you're not just walking away from them, you're stepping toward something greater. You're moving toward a stronger, more focused version of yourself, one that is more in tune with your purpose. And that version of yourself doesn't have time for drama, doesn't have time for people who don't trust you, don't respect your boundaries, or don't support your growth. Let's be honest, growth isn't always beautiful. Sometimes it's messy, challenging, and forces you to confront parts of yourself and your relationships that you've been avoiding. But it's necessary. Sometimes, what is necessary to reach your highest potential is to let go of those who no longer fit in your life. Not because you don't care about them, but because you care enough about yourself to do what's best for you. That is the key. You are doing this for yourself. Cutting someone off isn't an act of anger or resentment, it is an act of self-love, a deep understanding that you deserve peace. That you deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, push you to be better, and believe in your vision. And when you start acting from a place of self-love, you will notice a shift. You'll see that the right people will begin to show up in your life, those who align with your energy, respect your boundaries, and support your growth. It's as if the universe responds to the energy you project. When you start prioritizing your peace, when you start cutting out those who drain you, the universe will begin to send you people who align with your purpose, people who see you, understand you, and are ready to grow with you. That's what it all comes down to, creating a life that is meaningful, a life that aligns with your true self, a life with purpose. And you can't do that if you let yourself be dragged down by people who don't believe in you, who don't respect your boundaries, and who don't support your growth. Yes, it's hard, it's uncomfortable, and it can be lonely at times. But it's worth it, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own happiness and your own growth. And if that means cutting people off, if that means walking away in silence, then so be it. In that silence, you will find your strength. In that silence, you will find your peace. And in that peace, you will find the clarity you need to keep moving forward, to keep growing, and to keep becoming the best version of yourself. So, don't be afraid to cut someone off, don't be afraid to prioritize your peace, and don't be afraid to choose yourself. Because when you do, you'll find that everything else starts to fall into place. You'll attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right energy into your life. You'll begin to realize that protecting your peace is not just an act of self-care, it's an act of self-preservation. It's a declaration that you are worthy of joy, growth, and success, and that's what truly matters. So as I wrap this up, I want you to think about the people in your life. Reflect on your relationships, friendships, and connections. Are they contributing to your growth? Or are they holding you back? Are they helping you elevate yourself? Or are they keeping you stagnant? And if you find that someone is not serving your growth, if you find that their energy is pulling you down, then it's time. It's time to cut them off, silently, gracefully, with love, and keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, this journey is yours. This growth is yours. And sometimes, to soar to new heights, you have to let go of the things and the people that are weighing you down. Step forward, protect your peace, and watch how your life transforms when you prioritize yourself.